For years, the West has repeated the same message again and again, that modern air defense systems can protect cities, that advanced radar and interceptor missiles can neutralize any threat, that American-made systems, especially the Patriot air defense system, represent the highest level of protection ever created. Ukraine was promised that protection. Kyiv was promised safety. NATO was promised reassurance. But the battlefield does not respect promises. It only respects physics, speed, saturation, and reality. Once again, battlefield evidence has exposed a very uncomfortable truth. The Patriot air defense system is not what it was advertised to be. The strike unfolded under the cover of darkness, when cities are most vulnerable and air defense crews are pushed to their limits. Russian long-range aviation once again demonstrated its ability to operate far beyond the reach of Ukrainian airspace defenses. Strategic bombers, most likely Tu-95 aircraft, launched their weapons from safe distances, untouched and uncontested. The Tu-95 is often mocked in Western commentary as a relic of the Cold War. Yet night after night, it continues to do exactly what it was designed to do. It carries modern cruise missiles, launches them with precision, and retreats without ever exposing itself to danger. From these bombers came the Kh-101 cruise missile, one of the most advanced long-range strike weapons in Russia's arsenal. This missile is not built for spectacle. It is built for penetration. It flies low, follows terrain, minimizes its radar signature, and approaches targets from angles that exploit weaknesses in air defense coverage. Kyiv was not caught by surprise. Patriot systems were already deployed. Crews were alert. Radars were active. The shield was supposedly in place. And yet what followed told a very different story. Patriot engages and loses control. As the Kh-101 missiles approached their targets, Patriot air defense batteries began launching interceptor missiles. These interceptors are expensive, complex weapons, each costing millions of dollars, designed to track and destroy incoming threats with extreme precision. In theory, this is where the story should end. Missile detected, interceptor launched, threat neutralized. But theory collapses when confronted by reality. Footage published after the strike captured a moment that Western analysts struggled to explain. A Patriot interceptor missile is seen racing toward an incoming Kh-101. The interceptor climbs, adjusts course, and appears to be closing in. Then the impossible happens. The Russian cruise missile does not explode. It does not deviate. It does not disappear. It simply continues flying. The Kh-101 passes beneath the Patriot interceptor and strikes its target. Meanwhile, the Patriot missile continues upward, still searching, still maneuvering, still alive, but now completely disconnected from the reality below it. A weapon launched to destroy a missile instead becomes a confused observer of its failure. This was not an isolated anomaly. Within moments, another Patriot interceptor was launched, then another. The footage shows interceptors flying erratically, turning sharply, seemingly reacting to false cues or outdated tracking data. And once again, another Kh-101 cruise missile successfully struck its target. The night sky over Kyiv did not glow with the light of interceptions. It glowed with the light of impacts. What the footage revealed was not just a missed interception, but a breakdown in the entire engagement process. Patriot interceptor missiles were flying without clear targets, maneuvering aggressively, burning fuel, and ultimately achieving nothing. This is the nightmare scenario for any air defense system, when sensors struggle to maintain track continuity, when interceptors lose lock, when command systems cannot process the chaos of multiple incoming threats. The Kh-101 is designed for exactly this environment. It exploits radar clutter, low-altitude flight paths, and timing gaps between detection and interception. Against such weapons, even the most sophisticated systems become vulnerable. On that night, Patriot did not impose control over the airspace. It reacted. And reaction, in modern missile warfare, is already too late. This strike was not an isolated demonstration. It was part of a much larger operational pattern. On the night of January 20th, Russia carried out one of the largest airstrikes of 2026. A total of 372 aerial attack assets were launched in a coordinated operation designed to overwhelm, exhaust, and expose Ukrainian air defenses. The majority of these assets were 338 Iskander-M drones. Cheap, persistent, and numerous, these drones serve a crucial role in modern Russian doctrine. They force air defense systems to activate radars, expend interceptors, and reveal positions. Alongside the drones came 34 missiles, not symbolic missiles, but serious strike weapons. 18 Iskander-M ballistic missiles, 15 Kh-101 cruise missiles, and even a 3M-22 Zircon hypersonic missile were part of the package. This was not about a single target. This was about saturation, about forcing Western systems into impossible choices, about proving that no shield can cover everything, everywhere, all at once. Each weapon used in this strike represents a different challenge, and together they form a combination that Patriot was never designed to defeat. The Iskander-2 drones drain resources and attention. The Kh-101 cruise missiles exploit low-altitude detection gaps. The Iskander-M ballistic missiles descend at extreme speeds, with unpredictable trajectories that challenge interception windows. And then there is the Zircon. The 3M-22 Zircon hypersonic missile exists in a category entirely its own. Traveling at speeds of Mach 8 to 9, maneuvering during flight, and compressing reaction times to mere seconds, it renders traditional air defense concepts obsolete. Patriot cannot intercept hypersonic missiles in real combat conditions. This is not speculation. It is physics. The presence of even a single Zircon missile changes the entire defensive equation. It forces defenders to accept that some threats simply cannot be stopped. After the strike, Ukrainian officials claimed that 342 of the 372 targets were intercepted. On paper, this sounds impressive, almost miraculous. But claims do not equal evidence. Independent verification is absent. Satellite imagery tells a different story. Ground footage shows repeated impacts. Electrical grids, military installations, and infrastructure sites show clear signs of successful strikes. This pattern is familiar. Extraordinary interception claims followed by visible destruction. Confidence in press releases contrasted with silence in data. The battlefield does not lie, even when statements do. The NATO question no one wants to ask. What makes this failure truly significant is not what it means for Ukraine, but what it means for NATO. Patriot is not just Ukraine's shield. It is NATO's shield. It protects air bases, command centers, and capitals across Europe. If Patriot struggles against Russian missiles over Kyiv, how would it perform under a full-scale saturation strike against NATO territory? How many interceptors would be needed? How long would defenses last before running dry? These are not theoretical questions anymore. They are practical ones. The footage from Kyiv has ignited a quiet but growing debate within military circles. Not about whether Patriot works in ideal conditions, but whether it works when conditions stop being ideal. The events over Kyiv mark another chapter in a war where reality consistently collides with Western expectations. The Patriot system was never designed to fight this kind of war. It was designed for controlled engagements, limited threats, and predictable environments. Modern Russian missile warfare offers none of those things. What was once marketed as an impenetrable shield now appears as a system struggling to keep up with the pace, complexity, and brutality of modern strikes. Until now, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.